last week, and I am a trichologist. I am certified, and I am a hair loss practitioner here in New Jersey. So if you can stay on with me for a while, we are going to talk about having the best hair you've never had. Good morning, Hot Mama. Thank you for joining me. So I just want to let all of you know today's focus is about hair growth. However, you cannot have hair growth. You will never have hair growth if your body is out of balance and if it's out of alignment. So today's focus, we're following up. Last week we talked about how you had to have good digestion, good absorption. This week we're working on elimination. So this week is all about gut health, everything gut health. If you don't have good gut health, you will not have good hair growth. So why I say that is if your body is out of alignment in any way, if it's out of alignment, and how it gets out of alignment is you're not digesting food well. If you're not digesting food well, that's part of digestion, part of the three simple steps: digestion, absorption, and elimination. So when your stomach doesn't have good health, that means you can't absorb good minerals. And if you can't absorb good minerals, and if digestion is a problem, you won't have good elimination. That means you won't poop well. You won't have good hormonal balance. You won't have good clarity of mind. You won't have good serotonin production, good dopamine production. You won't have good thyroid health because your gut is off. So if you guys know who I am, I talk about something relevant to hair growth, to health and wellness, because all health and wellness relates to good hair growth. I'm on the live stream every single week talking about bits and pieces about how you can tighten up your health in certain ways to get better hair growth. Now, today, again, I was talking about having the best hair you've never had in three simple steps. So, last week, if you guys joined me, I talked about having good digestion. If you're a type A or type AB, type A's and ABs need more help with digestion on the front end because they do not have good stomach acid. They do not have good enzymatic production, and they usually have problems with their liver and their gallbladder. They often have their gallbladder removed. They usually have a problem absorbing minerals because their stomach is not set up to break down heavy fats and foods properly. So that's just part of having a type A or a type AB blood type. If you're eating the wrong foods, it can ruin digestion. It can create inflammation in different areas, like your gallbladder can be inflamed. You can have different issues with GERD and things like that. You can have problems with your esophagus. When you have problems with digestion, you will always have a problem with great hair growth. You will always have an issue with scalp problems, dandruff. You would have issues because your body is not taking advantage of the food, digesting it properly so it can break down, help you pull minerals from it, and then you're going to have problems eliminating. So that's three steps. Three again. So we're going to talk about how the best hair you've never had, three simple steps. Tighten up your digestion, help your body to absorb minerals better, and then you have to make sure that you are eliminating properly. So I'm just going to go back and review from last week. So as I say all the time, every single week, when your body is out of alignment in any way, when your body is out of alignment in any way, you will have a difficult time growing hair every day of the week. So when I say that, when you alter how the body digests food, whether you're taking GLP-1s, whether you have stomach stapling surgery, whether you have stomach realignment surgery, and that interferes with how well you eliminate food. If you take a part of your colon out, If you do anything to interrupt digestion or alter how you digest food, you're going to alter how well your body digests, absorbs, and eliminates food. This is going to cause a problem for your hair growth. So, anytime your body is out of alignment or you do anything to the digestive and elimination cycle, you will have problems with your hair growth. So, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. And what I mean by that is, I have countless women who come to see me who've had stomach surgery, stomach stapling surgery, stomach realignment surgeries, and they've lost all this hair in the front. They've lost this hair, and the top of their hair starts to diffuse, the hair starts to thin, and then they'll say to me, "Oh, well, I'm taking in my protein shakes. The doctor told me to take protein shakes. I gave him protein, give him protein." You will never repair that hair because you've already altered how well your stomach, your small intestine, and your large intestine digest, absorb nutrients, and eliminate food. So I'm going to keep saying that because it's a lot when women come in and they look to me to tell them how they're going to get their hair back. And I have to say, if your doctor didn't tell you this beforehand, your hair will never come back to that density you had before your surgery. I know it's a lot. I tell women I understand. When we're doing stomach stapling, stomach realignment, and cutting out parts so that you can redirect it so digestion is quicker, I get it. We're doing it for metabolic health. We're doing it to improve cardiovascular health. We're doing it to improve cholesterol health, diabetes, insulin resistance. I get it. I get it. However, 6 months later, a year later, when you start going on Dr. Google and Bing and you start putting stuff into your AI software, why is my hair thinning? I had surgery 6 months ago. I started taking GLP-1 a year ago. Why is my hair thinning? Because you have altered the digestive and elimination process. So let me know if you understand where I'm coming from when I say this. There aren't too many people who still have great hair after being on GLP-1s or having some sort of stomach realignment or stomach stapling surgery. There aren't too many people that have good hair. Either they have very, very thick, dense hair to begin with, so by the time their body leveled out and got used to the new them, they still had enough hair where it wasn't compromising. But the large majority of women and men that I see that are post surgery, they ask, "What can I do to get my hair back?" And I say, "It's not much. We need to focus on what we do have. We need to tighten up supporting your body so that you don't lose any more density." So I talked about digestion last week. Let me know if that makes sense to you all, if you are understanding where I'm coming from. Anytime you have any surgeries, that's a source of trauma to the body. If you've altered how the body works and how the body performs, you will have challenges with your hair growth. You will have challenges with your hair growth because it's something unnatural now that the body has to get used to. It will always cause a problem for your hair because your hair has the most fastest, rapidly growing cells. So when you alter a body process, guess where you see it first? Right up here. So some symptoms you will have when you're having digestive issues is GERD, nausea, a whole lot of burping and belching. When that happens, if you're having problems with GERD, if you're having problems where your stomach is constantly in pain and you don't feel good after you eat, your body is having a problem with digestion. Your body is not able to digest your food properly, and you have to tighten that up because if you don't, it will cause a problem for your hair growth. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. So I tell people that all the time. When my ladies come in they're 40, they're 50, they're 60, I put a large majority of my women on digestive enzymes, digestive bitters, products to help them with the digestive process because digestion gets worse as we age. It doesn't get better. And I'm going to clue you in on why I say this. Just about every man or every woman does not have the same hairline they had when they were 25. The hairline starts to slide back. with time because it's called a mature hairline. As the body ages, bodily functions take more effort. They take more effort, it takes more help. Bodily processes don't work the way they did when we were in our 20s. This is why a lot of people wind up going on medication. They wind up getting high blood pressure. They wind up getting on cholesterol medication because the liver doesn't work as well. The blood doesn't pump as well. The body doesn't digest food as well. So you start seeing it here. You start seeing gray around the temples. It's called conitis because we're starting to gray. We're losing minerals. We're losing things like copper. We're losing things like zinc, iron in the magnitude of minerals. Along the way, we're losing the capacity to be able to digest food. Where do we see it? Right in front of that hairline. So this is why I'm here today, everyone. If you want to have the best hair you've never had, you have to support the body from soup to nuts. Digestion, absorption, and elimination. So when you're having a problem with your upper GI, reach out. Let's have a conversation. 15 minutes is all it takes. Let's find out how we can help you fix your digestion. Now, the second thing is absorption. If you're having a problem above, you're going to have a problem below. So if you're having a problem with your stomach, nausea, belching, burping, you don't feel good after you eat. Some foods make you feel a little awful because you're probably in a place where you can't digest the fat in the food. I talk a lot about type A, type AB, type B, type O. Different blood types can only digest certain types of fat. Different blood types can digest certain types of fat. So when you have type A's and type ABs, type A's, type ABs need to be uh, ones where they only maybe eat lighter fare, maybe fish, chicken, turkey, salmon, soy. But type B's and type O's can have thicker cuts of meat, different types of fat because it helps to level out their the blood sugars. When you can have larger cuts of protein, you can have better blood sugar health. Type B's and type O's more often than not have a problem with blood sugar, insulin resistance, and they usually end up being diabetic and have issues with blood sugar. They will lose their hair in the top of their scalp because the capillaries will get inflamed from the high levels of blood sugar. What I also see with type B's and type O's is the inflammation from the blood sugar will take their hair out as opposed to someone with a type A or type AB. They will eat large cuts of meat that aren't good for them and it will inflame their gallbladder. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how Jess Hilarious had to have her gallbladder removed because her gallbladder was inflamed because she was eating the wrong types of foods, the wrong types of fats. So when I'm here and I'm talking about what you need to have in your diet, this is where it all comes from. When you fix digestion, when you give your body what it needs as far as digestion, you have fewer problems later. You have to listen to your body because when you listen to your body and you help support it in key areas, you have better hair growth. And this is what we're trying to do. We want to get the best hair we've never had. So if we can fix digestion, we will fix absorption. When we have good absorption, we're able to pull the iron, the zinc, the minerals, the selenium, and all of the minerals and all of the vitamins that we need. We'll be able to pull it from our diet so that when it gets to the gut, we'll have proper hormone balance, proper hormone conversion. The body will do what it needs to do when all areas are working and all systems are go. Digestion, absorption, and elimination. So how I'm able to see if you're not having good absorption is when you come visit for a hair and scalp exam, we have devices, BioScan, Zytos, we have the hair tissue mineral analysis, we have our blood chemistry analysis. It doesn't matter the analysis, your blood work in your body will let us know that you are having a problem with digestion, absorption, and elimination, and that's what we have to fix. There are no if, ands, and buts. There's no, oh, I'll work on it later. That is paramount. That is primary. If you don't fix digestion, elimination, and absorption, you will not have the hair growth that you want. there are a myriad of issues that will take place when you don't have good digestion, absorption, and elimination. And I keep saying that because we're here because we're trying to learn the 3 easy steps to help you have the best hair that you've never had. So let me help with an example. There are a large majority of people who are walking around with hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism. And you know why? It's because there's not proper hormone conversion taking place in the gut. When you are not eliminating your food properly, hormone conversion cannot take place. Serotonin is produced in the gut. So if you want to have good mental clarity, you need to make sure you tighten up your gut. If you want to have good dopamine production, you have to tighten up your gut. You have to make sure that you're giving your gut what it needs. You have to make sure your body is eliminating the food from your body at least 1 to 3 times a day. Hormone conversion is the major biochemical process where specialized intestinal cells and gut bacteria, which is why I talk about gut bacteria all the time, they alter hormones so that they can activate, deactivate, or prepare them for elimination. So when I say activate, hormone synthesis needs to take place in the gut so that your thyroid can be balanced. When your thyroid is out of balance, one of the first places I go is making sure I help my clients tighten up their gut health, making sure they're eliminating, making sure they have good pre and probiotic fiber, making sure that they are getting in what's needed to clear that food from the gut. If it's an occasional boost of maybe some senna, cascara, sagrada, whatever we need to make sure that the stool is bulky, that it's fibrous, and that it's moving. Because if not, we get more things like we're tired all the time, we're loopy, our thyroid can produce a goiter. Because what will happen is when there's not enough hormone conversion in the gut, when it's not moving, hormone conversion not taking place, what will happen is the goiter will form on the thyroid because the thyroid is trying to produce more thyroid tissue so it can produce more thyroid hormone. When you're not moving that waste through the gut, now your thyroid is taking it out on you and it's forming more thyroid tissue. When it's forming more thyroid tissue, then you're out of balance and you have a slow moving thyroid because your thyroid is trying to do the work that you're not doing because the food's not moving through your gut. I am harping on this so much because when your thyroid is not producing and it's not clearing hormones, if estrogen is not clearing from your gut, if hormone production is all over the place, it will take it out on your hair. So week in and week out, I'm talking to all of my viewers. I'm on a live stream and I'm talking about hormonal hair loss. This is where we start having hormonal hair loss because we're not moving this waste through our gut. Our gut is not supported. We're not getting in the fiber. We're not getting in the good bacteria. We're not clearing that waste, so it's causing hormonal issues. One of the things that happens is when thyroid hormones are out of balance, it can't help us with estrogen levels. It can't help us with testosterone levels. And the levels get out of balance. And usually what happens is the hair doesn't get better, it gets worse. The hair starts thinning. You start seeing a very dry scalp because the thyroid, which governs sebum production, the oil production in our skin, when it's out of balance, our skin will get majorly dry all over the place because the thyroid is not working right. So everything is connected, everyone. So I'm here every week talking about the same stuff because I could talk about it 10 times and people still are not getting it. By the time people see a live stream and schedule an appointment, they speak with me. I'll say, where did you see us? Oh, I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on YouTube. I saw you on Facebook. I saw you on TikTok. And I'll ask them, do you listen to my live streams? Do you go back and look at a few? Do you look at the clips? Because your body functions as a whole. When one section is out of balance, it throws everything off. So this is why I'm talking so much about elimination today, because when your gut is not supported, when your colon is not supported, when you're not going to the bathroom, it's going to throw off your hormones and it will eventually lead to hormonal hair loss. So when our thyroid is not able to clear those hormones properly, what else begins to happen in the gut is it can't clear excess estrogen. When we are holding on to excess estrogen, it will stay stuck in our liver and it will cause us issues with very thick, heavy menstrual cycles. So when I hear my women say, "Oh, I have such bad cramps, I'm on my menstrual cycle for 3 weeks, my cycle is so heavy," it's because we're not taking care of our gut. Hormone conversion doesn't take place when we're not clearing out waste from our gut. When we're not getting in that good bacteria, it's going to throw off our gut. When we can't clear excess estrogen out of our colon, when it can't eliminate, some of it will back up in the liver. And when the liver has excess estrogen, we become estrogen dominant. We need to be able to clear this out. All of this has an effect on our hair growth. So when I'm speaking with you guys today about colon health, this is what I mean. It's going to upset the balance of your thyroid and hormones and give you issues with your hair growth. So that's why I'm always talking about hormonal hair loss, not androgenetic alopecia, not male and female pattern baldness, but all sorts of different hormone imbalances will show up here. So I'm not talking about any specific type of alopecia or thinning hair syndrome. I'm talking about hormone balance in general. When your hormones are imbalanced at any time, it's going to start showing up here. It's going to start showing up here. So, as an example, I'm only really just referring to thyroid hormones today, and serotonin and dopamine and melatonin and things like that. All of that has to take place, has to clear. It has to do what it does in the colon. That's why it's called hormone conversion. So, some other things that happen is T3 and T4, the conversions can't take place when our gut is not working properly. So, when T3 and T4 can't convert properly to help balance our thyroid, we'll start having imbalances here on the top of the scalp. We'll start developing goiters. We'll start developing hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. The thyroid is largely in charge of estrogen production, progesterone production, testosterone production, which helps our hair growth. So, everyone, if you're not getting anything, please understand you need to make sure that your colon, your elimination is tightened up. If you want to support your body's needs as far as your thyroid is concerned, tighten all that up, everybody. And I hope this is making sense. And if you have any questions, just put them into the chat. So, the liver is going to help you clear some of the hormones from your body. But what will happen is if the liver conjugates hormones, it needs to eventually dump them out. But if our gut is not moving, it can never send them out as waste. So what will happen is the liver keeps reabsorbing hormones that you can't pass because your gut health is not great. That will cause a problem for your hair and thinning hair and hormonal based hair loss because the liver is in charge of over 300 functions. A lot of that are the metabolic processes of hormones. So, some other things that I want to mention is when you want to have the best hair you never had, you have to be mindful of what's called leaky gut. Now, I'm giving some examples of how you can spot someone with a leaky gut. They'll generally have bad breath. They will have acne all over their chest. They'll have acne all over their arms, acne all over the back with pock marks because your body is toxic. Toxic. You'll have colon polyps. You'll have diverticula because the food is getting stuck in your colon. And guess what? When it can't find a way out the normal way through feces and waste, it will kind of like a balloon. If you've ever seen the people who are at like parties and they'll blow up balloons and they'll hold the balloon and they'll twist it and it'll pop off in another way and then they twist it and it'll pop off another way. That's what happens with diverticula. Little pockets will form in the colon and bacteria and waste will get stuck in those little pockets because the colon is not finding a way out for that waste. The body will hold on to all of that toxicity and it will siphon off through the colon back into the bloodstream. It's a little bit difficult for me to explain. I wish I had some way to show it to you. It's kind of like a banana. When a banana has, you take the skin of the banana, and then you have the banana inside. Just imagine if someone just crushed the banana with their hands. It would just start just, you know, uh, spilling out everywhere. That's how the waste from our toxic gut, it spills back out into our bloodstream. That's why you see evidence of the bacteria and the toxicity. So when you have boils under your arm, boils in the folds of your vagina, boils in the folds of your anus, boils wherever there's hair growth, when you have acne and pock marks and toxicity all on your scalp, and it leads, thank you for my hearts, and leads into folliculitis, it's because of the toxicity in your gut. So this is why I talk about leaky gut. When your gut is not moving, it's going to show you visible signs, but you have to pick up what your body is trying to put down. You have to be mindful. This is not normal. Why is my body going through this? Why do I have painful periods? Why are my periods so long? I'm on a menstrual cycle for 3 months. Why do I have acne all over my chest? Why does my breath stink? Why can't I think straight? Why can't I sleep? Why is my thyroid all out of balance? Why do I have all this yeast all over my scalp? Why do I have all these flakes and this seborrheic dermatitis? Because your gut is out of balance, everyone. So when I say again, if you want to have the best hair that you've never had, you've got to tighten this up, everyone. You've got to tighten up your digestion, your absorption, and your elimination. So this week we're talking about elimination. So when I say signs of poor gut health, a lot of the inflammation, a lot of the psoriasis, the eczema, the yeast infections, the hypothyroidism, all of it's going to take place in the gut. Cancers form in the gut. The sicknesses, they begin in the gut. One of the first things I do with my clients is they've just come out of the hospital or they've just gotten over a virus, they've just gotten over sickness and illness. First thing I do, run to my retail counter and I grab them some pre and probiotics. I give them some fiber because we have to support their colon. All sickness and illness starts in the colon. You have to support your colon health because that's the seat of immunity. 50 to 70% of our body's immunity takes place in the gut. So the gut is very important. You want to manage your scalp health. You want to manage hair growth. Support that gut. Support it, support it. So I just want to know if you guys have any questions. And thank you so much from my heart. If you have questions, just put them in the chat. We'll answer them here. Let me dip on over to Instagram real quick to see if anybody has any questions. Good morning, Miss Rita. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Okay, I don't have any questions there, so I'm going to keep going. So one of the things the gut needs to be supported is good bacteria. Good bacteria in the way of having probiotics and prebiotic fiber. So prebiotic fiber is food for the bacteria. So you need prebiotics and you need probiotics because bacterial health is extremely important. You have to have fiber. When you have a leaky gut and you have all these outward visible signs of inflammation in the colon, you have to tighten up the inflammation. So you have 3 things you have to worry about. And if this is affecting any of you right now, slow moving gut, your transit time is too long, your poop stinks to a holy hot hell, it's been sitting in your colon for too long, you go to the bathroom once or twice a week, yeah, you're having problems with your gut. You're definitely having some problems with a poor, sluggish intestinal transit time and a poor supported colon. So some outward visible signs, like I said earlier, dandruff, flaking, scaling, slow grow health. Your scalp is very, very dry because your gut is very inflamed. It's not cooperating with the thyroid. Your thyroid can't produce enough sebum. Your hair is brittle. It doesn't have any life because your body is out of alignment. You can't ever expect to have good hair growth when your body's out of alignment. One of the 3 easy steps: digestion, elimination, and absorption. You have to fix it and support it. So when you have constant issues with yeast and seborrheic dermatitis, you're consuming too much sugar, you're eating too much processed food, or you're eating too much food. I'm gonna get to that, Miss Sugar. So the 3 things that have to happen: reduce the amount of sugar and processed foods you're eating. Make sure you're getting in your pre and your probiotic fiber every single day. And you have to make sure that you're using zinc pyrithione or ketoconazole shampoo. You have to manage that on top and from within. So when you have all of this dandruff and this pityriasis amiotrochea and the white spots and the fungus all over your face and all over your scalp, candidiasis, fix that colon, fix that gut. So Ms. Shug 881 said, hello, would you recommend the first thing to do to repair the gut? I do believe I have hormonal hair thinning and breakage, but my doctor keeps saying my hormones are fine. I do have inflammation. Bye, y'all. So Shug, last week I had put up a brief post and I said, until your doctor starts doing hair, until your doctor sits in my chair, you can't always listen to what your doctor says in reference to hair growth because your doctor doesn't do hair. A person who specializes in hair and scalp needs, we do hair. I don't claim to be an MD or PhD. So when I tell you, listen to your body's own signals, you know your hair, you know it's not in your head, you know it's not all in your head, you know you see something, you know your scalp's in pain, you know you have an issue with your hair and scalp, and yet y'all keep running to your doctor thinking your doctor's going to fix it. No, everyone, a hair loss practitioner, a trichologist is going to help you with your hair. We worry about hair. I don't worry about skin. I don't worry about nothing else. Dermatologist worries about skin. I worry about hair. So should you know something is off, you need to focus on everything I just shared with you. Pre and probiotic fiber. Make sure you get your anti-inflammatories to tighten up that inflammation in your gut, and find ways to take care of everything related to the gut. Go to Dr. Google. I don't know what you have to do, but find everything that's going to help support the gut. If you want personalized recommendations, connect with me for 15 minutes, and I promise I can help you. But I don't throw out a whole lot of recommendations when I don't know you personally. I don't know your blood type, because there are different herbs that work well for different blood types. Echinacea, golden seal don't work for every blood type. Sea moss doesn't work for every blood type, so I don't like to get into specifics until I know you personally. I know your blood type. I know what's going on with you to do my recommendations. So on, let me see. Okay, let me try to. My TikTok is slow today. So that said, what brand of probiotic do you recommend? So that I recommend. It's called Organic India. You can find it on my website. It's only $20, and we ship it out to you immediately. It's $20 on Amazon as well. But I recommend it because it has pre and probiotic support. I don't always recommend just probiotics. I don't recommend just prebiotics, and I don't recommend just fiber. You need to have them all. And my Organic India that we sell on our website has all three combined, because you need to tackle all of them. You need the food for the bacteria, you need the bacteria, and you need that fiber to bulk up that stool so it can pull all of that waste from off the sides of your colon so you can eliminate it. So if you guys have any more questions for me, just let me know. But when you're able to do this, you will improve hormonal conversion, you will improve your skin health, you will improve the oil that is naturally secreted from your sebaceous gland. You will improve all of this because you're helping your gut. So I want to let you guys know that it's very, very important. The gut relies on a balanced microbiome, or a good gut flora, and enzymes to properly process hormones. Digestive health dictates your overall endocrine balance. So I say this every single week, and I'm going to keep saying it because I said I am going to be here every single week for the whole of 2026. So every single week, you guys can catch me here at 8 o'clock talking about something related to hair and scalp health. So an imbalance of bad and good bacteria disrupts different types of glucuronidase production. That's a lot. Resulting in stalled thyroid conversion or estrogen excess. It also creates a lot of inflammation. I just talked about that earlier. Gut inflammation can lead to issues like leaky gut, and slow down localized enzyme activity, altering how hormones are activated or eliminated. So work on that gut, everybody. So again, all those unhealthy cells migrate from the colon, and it causes uneven cellular growth. So when we have toxicity and waste in the colon, that never makes its way out. It's constantly reabsorbed back into the body. It's going to cause you problems with inflammation. It's going to cause boils. It's going to cause acne. It's going to cause problems with our skin because it's not supported. So, some things that I like to talk about when I say it creates uneven cellular activity. As soon as you eat, your body is going to break all that food down into amino acids. Amino acids are going to form cells. It usually takes about 30 to 60 days, depending on your age. I'm 57, so it takes me roughly 2 months for cells to clear, become born, and then be sloughed off, and that cell is kind of out of commission. For someone that's young, that's in their 20s and 30s, cell production is turning over every 30 days, which is why they have that youthful skin. They don't have the jowls, they don't have the sagging. Their collagen production is on 10, so their skin is youthful. For someone like myself, it takes about 2 months for cells to clear and to turn over. When you're having a problem with psoriasis and eczema and dermatitis, seborrheic dermatitis, your skin cells are organizing unevenly because your body is not functioning properly. So when I said earlier, your hair will never grow in a body that is out of balance or out of alignment, your body will start speaking to you by the hair quality and by your scalp quality. And if your scalp is red, raw, and inflamed, and you're having psoriasis, skin and scalp conditions, um, any type of skin condition, any inflammatory skin condition, lupus, anything, your skin cells are migrating unevenly and it's producing uneven cell growth. It's producing inflammation. All of it is connected with how the body is functioning. You support the body in the ways that it needs, and it will give you the skin, it will give you the hair growth, it will give you the hormone balance you need. So, when you all are interested in fixing uneven hair growth, balancing your hormones, working on your digestion, all you have to do is connect with me for 15 minutes. When you're interested in restoring your hair growth, stopping hair fallout, improving density, when you're thinking about ways to fix your hair growth, all I ask is that you guys connect with me for 15 minutes. Visit my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page because one of the first questions I get all the time is, how many success stories have you had? I don't put all of my success stories on my page. Number one, because not everybody wants me to put their images on my website. But when you do scroll to my website, you will find them all the way at the base of the page. You'll see some before and afters. We have a lot of clients that we help. We have a lot of clients that we work with. But what I would say is everyone else's experience is not your experience because what someone else may have had to deal with is not what you have to deal with. You have to deal with what you need to deal with so that you can get your hair back. But I say this, if you do nothing, where are you going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now if you do nothing? If you keep overanalyzing everything, if you keep thinking, oh, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, there's no guarantee. There are no guarantees in life. There are no guarantees you're going to be a millionaire. There's no guarantees you're going to fall in love. There are no guarantees you're going to have kids. There's no guarantee that you will get your hair back, especially if you do nothing. Okay? If you do nothing, there's your guarantee. Your guarantee is you'll get nothing because you're doing nothing. So I say to everyone, invest 15 minutes into yourself to see what we have to offer. The call is free. Jump on a 15-minute call with us, ask your questions. Let's find out how we can get you on the schedule and get your personal treatment plan. Thank you so much from my heart. I tell everyone a list of how we usually do our business and how we work is on our website. All you have to do is go to hairlosscentermj.com. For Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, my website is scrolling across the screen. For TikTok, all you have to do is go to the link in my bio, tap it, and connect with me for 15 minutes. That's all you have to do, and I will be here to talk with anyone who wants to talk more about their hair growth. So, pinning a comment section to my TikTok. If you guys have any questions, you want to send me a comment, you want to ask some questions, just send it there. More than likely, I'm going to say you probably need to connect with me for 15 minutes to talk personally about your needs because I can't answer any pressing questions on a 15-minute call because I don't know anything about you. What I will do is just say, Let me know a little bit about you, your medications, your lifestyle, what it is you're experiencing. We'll get on a call, and then I share with you which platform may work best for you. We have HSA, we take FSA, we take payment plans. I don't want anyone to think that this is out of their reach. We have budgets that will work for everyone. But the key is, who else are you running to get your hair information? Are you running to just your dermatologist, just your hairstylist? Are you looking elsewhere? Because if you need more information on how to get your hair growth, your hair restored, if you want to get your questions answered, include a trichologist, someone like myself, a holistic hair loss practitioner or a hair loss practitioner in your team so that you can get all the answers you need. I generally talk about how you need a team of resources around you. You need your nurse practitioner or your OBGYN to help you with your hormone balance. You need your trichologist. You need your trichologist to help you with your hair, skin, and scalp, and to help you understand why you're having the issues you're having. You need your dermatologist because your dermatologist is going to give you your biopsies. They're going to give you your prescriptions. They're going to give you uh, they're going to probably let you know what your syndrome is or whatever it is that you're going through. You need your team and your resources, and you need your hairstylist because if you're having issues with your hair growth and you need to cover, you need to improve your scalp health, you need to loop in a hairstylist. So I say all this to say you can't do everything alone. One man is not an island, and when you need some help, the Hair Loss Center of New Jersey is here. We're here for you week in and week out, 24 hours a day. All you have to do is visit the website, schedule your 15-minute call. I usually like to include, when you get your 1 hour consultation, when you migrate over and you've gotten your own personal treatment plan, I will personally include 2 scalp therapy sessions that you have to use within 30 days. Because if you're trying to get your scalp back together, get rid of dandruff, get rid of inflammation, work on biofilm so that you can get better hair growth, you have to make sure that you have good scalp health. So for those who have been on this live stream today and they want to get their hair and scalp together, all you have to do is mention that you're on this live stream, and we will include 2 scalp therapy sessions. And the 2 scalp therapy sessions can include exosomes, it can include light therapy, scalp detox, scalp massage, high frequency microcurrent. We have an assortment of things, mesotherapy, that we do to include in your 1 hour scalp therapy session. Your hairstylist probably isn't doing that because your hairstylist is focusing on just making sure that you have the best hairstyle. We focus on scalp treatments, scalp therapies, understanding what your hair and scalp is saying to us. So schedule your 1 hour session, and if you mention that you were on this live stream today, we'll go in 2 scalp therapy sessions. If you never make it to the 1 hour session, you will never find out what will work for you. But in order to do that, you have to schedule a 15-minute session. So I said to everyone that I promised that I will throw in some free gifts. I have a dozen ebooks that I would love for you to read, because when you read, you'll probably find more information in some of the ebooks that I've written that you probably didn't know, and you can type some of the things that are happening in your own body. For everyone who is on this live stream today, I would like to give you my inflammation ebook for free. It's usually sold for $19.99, and I want to give it to you for free. So if any of you want the ebook, all you have to do is, wherever you're on right now, if you're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok, just let me know. Just put in inflammation, and I will send it to you. I'll send you the free link so that you can get the information book. So I just want to say to everyone, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to just learn how to get the best hair you've never had in 3 easy steps. I promise you, if you work on these 3 things, digestion, absorption, and elimination, you will have better hormone conversion. You will have better skin health. You will reduce some of the yeast. You will reduce your thyroid issues. You will clean up and support a lot of what's going on in your body when you work on these 3 things, and you have the best hair you've never had if you just work on these 3 areas. And again, if you don't know who I am, my name is LaRon. I am, oh, thank you, Miss Jordan. I will make sure I send it out to you. Miss Jordan, my Texas mama. I will make sure I send that out to you. I just want to say thank you very much. Please remember, 3 easy steps. Tighten up your hair growth in 3 easy steps, everyone. Next week, we're going to be talking about the big M, the big M and the big PM, menopause and perimenopause, and what we need to do to get ourselves right. Because if we don't, we're going to wind up having problems with our hair growth. All up in here, we're going to talk about the 3 easy steps to get the best hair you've never had by balancing your hormones next week, everyone. So join me next week. And if you want that information, guys, just send me a message, send me a private message, send me a comment. Let me know that you want that free information guide, and I'll send it out to you. So you guys have a good day on purpose. I'm going to get ready for my students that I'm going to meet at 9 o'clock. Love, peace, and hair grease, everybody. I hope you got a lot out of this today. Talk to y'all next week.